Jagdeo and Harmon accuse each other of being criminally connected. Yes, I see the joke in that. Millions stolen from GWI. And government hosts diaspora engagement and sings the same old song I heard 10 years ago. I am Noriko Bulford, and welcome to tonight's edition of Uncut News. Before we begin, do you have something important you want to leak without revealing your identity? Send us a tip on WhatsApp on telephone number 592-659-6151. The pot is calling the kettle black as both Harmon and Jagdeo accuse each other of having connections to the criminal underworld. Following two major busts this year, APNU AFC officials claimed that the drug trade is back. But over the weekend, Jagdeo lashed back, saying that it never died. In fact, that it was all propaganda, and then he turned around and solely placed the blame for the crime wave under his presidency solely at the feet of APNU, claiming that Surinamese connections were responsible for arming criminals and that APNU offered protection to the gangs in Buxton. He also claimed that while APNU was in office, they prevented the police from doing their job when it came to busting drug lords. Harmon responded, saying that Jagdeo has, quote, no moral authority, end quote, to make such accusations unless he is coming clean about the PPP's drug world connections. He reminded everyone that we gained the dubious distinction of being a narco state under Jagdeo's watch, and that his government refused to allow the DEA to set up an office here. And of course he mentioned the Raja Khan-Leslie Ramsamy connection. When the gas-to-shore pipeline is completed, Exxon and the government will co-own the venture for up to 2 years. After this period, Jagdeo said the state will have full ownership of the infrastructure as the government would have completed repaying Exxon for its share of the investment. Thus far, the price has not been finalized, as the government is working on hiring a commercial expert to lead negotiations on its behalf, which honestly is something APNU should have done when negotiating the original Exxon contract. But I digress. The vice president was keen to note that the government will be pushing to get the first 50 million cubic feet of gas free of charge. Should this be achieved, Guyanese would pay less than 6 US cents per kilowatt hour. I have no idea how much that is, but apparently it's pretty good. He had said that while it could cost the nation $500 million to $800 million US dollars, depending on the size and design, only when it goes to tender will the government knows the true cost. So just don't be surprised if this ends up being just as successful as that broadband connection that Mark Ramatar was supposed to be building for us. According to GWI, close to 29 million Guyana dollars was fraudulently wired from their accounts to two persons in New York. During March of this year, over 17.4 million Guyana dollars was wired to a Troy Robertson and 12.3 million to Dianara Mohammed. It has been established that both signatures on the wire transfer instruction letters were forged. GWI noted that they have never conducted business with these two persons or at any time initiated or instructed the bank to carry out the fraudulent transactions. The police force has been notified of the fraud, but I doubt anything will come of it because of course this is just another day in Guyana. Two fatal accidents on the Sustack-Linden Highway claimed multiple lives over the weekend. 24-year-old Pascal Dainty and 32-year-old Dylan Whitehead died after Dainty lost control of his vehicle and slammed into two utility poles in Temeri on Saturday night. A third passenger, 25-year-old Michael Kendall, is currently hospitalized in a serious condition. Traffic investigators said the car, fence, and utility poles were extensively damaged. And in Kairuni, 3 people died and 2 left injured after a vehicle ran off the road and struck the group who was sitting on the curb. 39-year-old fireman Kevin Bizeth was speeding when he lost control of the car and it hopped the curb, plowing into the unsuspecting victims. 87-year-old Antonio Henry, 40-year-old Milena Emmanuel, and 8-year-old Akesi Jerome were killed at the scene. But technically 4 people died because Milenia was pregnant with child, while 8-year-old Alina Passard and 50-year-old Rodwell Jerome were hospitalized in a serious condition. The driver is currently awaiting charges. It's now time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2009 Toyota Axio. It comes with mag rims, new tires, DVD, stereo, reverse camera, and much more. Buy cash for $2.7 million, all paid down as low as $540,000, with around $61,000 monthly for 4 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rose Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet, sweet deal. This morning, a 26-year-old female security guard was robbed by 2 armed men in Old Boys Town. She said that she was walking home when she passed the perpetrators sitting along the road. They followed her and then robbed her of her phone, bag, and her money. One couple in Corriverton were the victims of a home invasion on Sunday. A 57-year-old businessman and a 23-year-old female were held at gunpoint and robbed by 3 masked men while they were lounging in their hammocks outside the home. The masked men tied the couple up at gunpoint and robbed them of cash, jewelry, and a cell phone. The trio is currently on the run. After over a year on the run as a fugitive from justice, 28-year-old Lusignan prison escapee Ken Raul Perez of Mabaruma Northwest District was on Saturday night captured in a makeshift camp. According to the cops, he was actually captured by the local community policing group. Since he escaped, Perez has apparently been a hungry little piggy, as he hoped his extra weight would throw off the police. Despite trying to hide his identity through his weight gain, the Runks were able to recognize him and he was arrested. Perez is currently in police custody, awaiting charges. Do you want to grow your money? Sell Digicel Top-Up. Become a top-up vendor through Cellular Plus and make some extra cash to supplement your income at your business or your side hustle. Call 685-3109 for more info. It's now time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 105 new cases. There are now 361 persons dead, 19 persons in the ICU, and 1,755 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the nation now stands at 16,235. So, please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. The police are currently investigating the death of 59-year-old Tulsi Balgobin. On Sunday evening, Balgobin suddenly collapsed and died whilst at the Richmond Buck Dam in the Esquimalt Coast. Balgobin and his son were at the Buck Dam when the elder Balgobin mounted his motorcycle. As he was putting on his helmet, the man suddenly collapsed and fell to the ground. Attempts to revive him proved futile. Are you a truck owner that's losing money due to downtime while you wait for your parts to be imported? Now that is just stupid. Truck parts are already in Guyana at Powder Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts. They stock spares for DAF, Bedford TM, International Freightliners, and Cummins engines. Check them out at 1161 EE Eccles or WhatsApp them on telephone number 697-0171. Tell them Noriko sent you and get a discount. 2-year-old Ken Jacobs died on Saturday after he reportedly drank gasoline. The police say that he ingested the gasoline at a mining camp located at the Haimaraka Buck Dam, Middle Mazaruni River. According to his mother, little Ken was unattended at the time of the incident, but she returned to find the toddler vomiting what appeared to be blood. Jacob's mom soon realized that he had drunk some gasoline, which she had stored in a bottle inside the camp. Jacob's mother rushed him to the nearest health post, but whilst receiving treatment, the toddler sadly lost consciousness and died. And now for our stupid news of the day. Last Saturday, this government held an online engagement with the diaspora. For almost 3 hours, our brothers and sisters overseas were subjected to the same old story every single government has given the diaspora since Burnham was a baby. They are begging the folks to come back and to bring their wallets with them. Why I say this? Because I truly believe that they only want the money. Because if they really wanted the skill sets that come with them and the energy, then they would have actually reached out to the 89% of UG graduates who have to leave the nation to find jobs. Or they would have even engaged the hundreds of diasporans who actually did answer the call to return home to serve. I and many others made that decision years ago, only to face politics, divisiveness, backbiting, and just plain ignorance from the same persons who ask you to come. So this is why I say that instead of trying to get the diaspora to come back, why not engage the ones who already did? Or better yet, let's stop making more diasporans by giving jobs to UG graduates and actually making Guyana a place people want to live in. Because if you ask me, trying to reach out to more diasporans just to disappoint them instead of working with the people you have is pretty stupid. Hey Guyanese business people, are you looking for a great way to advertise your business? Search no more. Join one of the fastest growing business directories in Guyana. Register your business on snap.gy and get access to more eyeballs. And wait for the best part, it's absolutely free. Get your business listed today on snap.gy. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in the nation, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Friday's question was, should businesses face punishment for reasonably preventable fires? Grant said, a reasonably preventable fire is negligent arson. I like that. As such, it should be prosecuted just like any other kind of arson. Any insurance policy should be invalid in this case. In the case of business fires ruled not arson, the monies must go toward rebuilding and not into the pockets of the insured. Jay Jairam said, fires are rarely preventable, but if carelessness caused it, then the perpetrators should face the consequences. Marlo G said, I think building owners who violate regulations should have to pay a hefty fine and be legally obligated to pay any damages to customers or any employees or business partners. I mean, only money makes people move nowadays anyway, right? You're absolutely right, Marlo. Sad but true. And Brooklyn Roadshow also gave a very great response, but unfortunately we are out of time. So for tonight's question, since we're talking about the diaspora, let's talk about Israel. In Israel, they have a program where any member of the Jewish diaspora can visit the country and learn more about their homeland. Do you think we should have a similar program to reach out to the children of our diaspora? Think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out Tuesday for another. Until then, I'm Noriko Bullford saying good night, folks. Hey Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.